my gosh. Oh, did the power go out? Oh, the power went out. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm afraid to open this door. Our house is literally being tested right now. Holy cow. Oh my God, it's...
Modern homes and properties are far from power outage proof. No power, no water. No heat, no lights. Within minutes or hours, your gorgeous mansion just became an overpriced shed where your basic needs can't be met. When we designed our dream home, we planned to be completely off-grid so that we were never dependent on these systems for our basic needs. We since realized that we can have our cake and eat it too. We can take advantage of the many conveniences of modern utilities while designing our house in a way that can also operate without these things. A win-win. Today, we begin the installation of natural gas to our house. We have quite the system in the works, which we'll elaborate on later, but first, we have to go pick up some sand. We bought a dump truck earlier this year, which allows us to get our own materials and save on transportation costs. We'll need 5 loads of sand for this project, or about 30 yards.
Alright, the one you're in front of is wash sand. The building sand's over there.
Roger that, we'll come over there. So if the trench is about here, I hate to do it, but it's like put the sand kind of like right here, and then it's kind of within reach of the Mini. Yeah, we can still get the truck out of here. Well, I guess we'll have to just kind of drive everything out this side. So I think we'll put it right here, as silly as that is, and that'll get us from there to there.
Why are you so difficult? You're sand. How hard can it be?
Gonna move a yard of sand in a dump truck. That's not the plan today. We got our first load of sand. My sister's off and running. She's going to be picking up 5 more of those to get us ready for bedding the natural gas in sand. The plan is to bring the meter to this corner of the house and keep it out of the line of water from the eave to put it right next to the apron right here. So we've got to start the trench here, and then we're working our way down here past the cabin and then down the driveway. You can kind of see the trench from our bringing grid power into the house here. We need to stay away from that comfortable distance. And the time-consuming part of this whole trench is really going to be right in here. And then we've got an electrical connection we want to make down there that's going to be time-consuming too. But we've got our footing drain coming out right here. And we also have the power to our well coming out right here. So right in here, we're going to have to slow down and probably do some handwork so we can stay safe and keep all that protected.
We had locates done at the road where natural gas will be coming from, and we know where all the utilities are on our property, so we plan to stay a comfortable distance from those. The reason we needed so many loads of sand was to bed the gas line and any other utilities going into the trench. Backfilling with rocky soil is no bueno, as it can puncture Nobody wants a utility line running up the middle of their driveway, so we decided to put it to the side. The day prior, we cut into the hillside a bit to make room for this, and then we'll do some landscaping to make things pretty.
That's not a bad looking trench for rock. I've seen worse. Wow, turns out digging in clay is way easier than digging in rock. 50 feet to go. That's gotta be a big rock. Let me know if you feel it.
Oh, I felt it. Oh,
That's the biggest rock so far.
Yeah.
You did good today, excavator. You did really good today. Looks like they are here. It sounds like we got the green light. They're gonna do the connection down at the street. We did not get finished last night, so we're gonna have to knock out that last 10 to 12 feet. I'm glad we waited because they had some pretty specific instructions for the way their barricade goes in. If we'd have dug it the way we wanted to, guess what? It wouldn't have worked. So thankfully we didn't do that, and we can get moving on that straight away. Well, I think we've got that as far as we can go. See where these guys are at. Looks like they got the pipe in. It's already bedded generously in sand. So while they're working on that, we've got 2 conduits that we're gonna throw in this trench. We tried to get a hold of the phone company. We don't even have high-speed internet here, so we can't get it even if we wanted to. But what if someday we get caught up with the rest of the world and that happens? Well, they don't seem to answer their phone. It's a bit of an irony, right? So we're gonna throw a conduit in there in case they wanna pull whatever they gotta do to get us hooked up to the internet someday in the future. And then the other thing is we're gonna connect a couple of outlets down here and bring power to a couple of spots. So while they're working on that, we can get everything glued up, and then we've got a couple of posts that we're gonna set. So we got plenty to keep us busy till they need us. Going in, yeah, coming off. Wah. Hi-ya. I'll ream and you glue.
Okay.
That's good enough too. Yep. Yeah. Hey.
If a project is undone on our property, there's usually a reason. Usually it's that everything's extremely layered, as is also the case with the natural gas project. Trenching is such a big deal that we'd really rather be done with it, so while on one hand it seems quicker to worry about one thing at a time, it ultimately results in double or triple work. Needless to say, this is a really good excuse to finally not have extension cords running all over the property.
Yeah, if we put that post like right here, we can 45 up to that. That'll work.
What's funny is once the planning's done, the work is usually pretty easy.
If we 90 about here, we can kind of bend the rest.
Having power at the sawmill is gonna be rad.
Okay, I think that's done. Looks good. Okay, they said we're good to backfill. So we get this connected and dropped in, we're off to the races. I'll bed if you want to bring me sand. I guess you could do it with the dump truck or the mini, the backhoe or the mini. Backhoe might be easier, just not tear the ground up. Oh, you dirty dog. Sweet. They got the stub up on there, looks like with the valve, and they've got this barricade. We got our conduit. Boy, that's getting busy over here, but it looks good. That's exciting. And I think the meter's gonna go right there.
So, how does natural gas tie into our power outage proof plan? Our primary heat source will be a wood boiler. Power's out? No problem. We'll still have a warm house via our radiant floor heating, as well as domestic hot water. But if we get lazy, want to leave the property in winter for a period of time, or we don't want to burn because it's summer, we'll have the set it and forget it option with both natural gas and electricity as backups.
So everything's bedded. I think the bedding that conduit and sand is probably overkill. Most of it's Schedule 80. I don't think it's gonna get hurt, but in this bony, rocky soil, a little safety doesn't hurt, and sand's $5.50 a yard. That's about $25 in sand to avoid having to do like $400 in excavation, $300 in excavation. So it was worth it. I think what we're gonna do, because we can, is set up 2 machines to backfill, and we're gonna see if we can knock this thing out in right quick and in a hurry.
For us, when deciding whether to have an off-grid or utility-tied house, we like to have options and also feel it increases the value of our home. It's a bit of extra work in the planning to have redundancy built in, but you're never sad when there's a utility outage and you have options. Or when you're tired of the work that comes with being off-grid and want the ability to live a little more modern. Instead of living in fear that the power is going to go out, or that we won't have the energy or ability to keep up with a wood boiler as life goes on and we age, we know that our bases are covered, and that we have a home that should adapt with us and be comfortable over our lifetime.
Well, it's finally in. It took a few days with the holiday and all that fun to get everything buttoned up, but we've got our meter, gas lines in, everything's ready to go. We still have a lot of work to do before we can get the gas turned on. That's going to be a totally separate video. This was a huge project that we expected to have done months ago, and it feels really good because now the pressure is on us to get this up and running. I was super worried, given how crazy this year has been, that if we didn't get the meter in, we may never get the meter in. So I'm glad this is all done. Everything's backfilled and buttoned up. We still have a project to do on the driveway, but that's a whole different project and we're not going to tackle that animal right now. So this feels good. I look forward to getting it connected and the day that this lock comes off and the natural gas is flowing.